Guys, so today's class I'm going to go a little bit deeper on Bitcoin. So if you know how to read a chart, you have to stick with me. And if you don't, let me give you guys the simple basis on how to read the chart. Okay, hold on. Let's go with BTC alone. I'm not focusing on any other coin apart from BTC. Okay, BTC is the only coin I've been talking about for a very long time now. So let's say we take all of this out. How do I take all of this out? Okay, let's hold on. Let's say we take all of this out now. Okay, let me just use the other one. This one is clean already. So look at now. This is BTC, right? If you already know how to read the chart, you understand that this is. Let me change the color to green and red, the default color. Let me just leave it with this one. It's the same thing. Okay, I just love this color. That's why I changed mine to this. Normally, the default color is usually green and red. So let's continue. Hope you guys are feeling the money picture on my wall. I just love to look at money all the time. Okay, so let's continue. So you can see that these are the prices of BTC, right? From here, you can see when BTC got to one 26k, and you can see, look at this point here, 120 something k, like 126k. This is the point here, right? You can see it. So the more the price moves, the more this chart moves rather, the more it reflects what price is at the moment. Okay. So and then if you look closely, you see that we have all of this candlestick, this one line here. Each of these candlestick, each of this line here represents, we call them candlesticks, right? And each of these now represents 1 week. So let's say 1 week finish playing out, we'll move into the next week, we'll move into the next week. So that's why you see that if you look below here, you can see the time range, right? From 21st of August, if I keep going, you see that the time keep increasing, right? The time keeps going into the present date down to the current week we currently are right now at April, right? You can see we're currently on April rather. Okay, yeah, April, around April 20th, close to the end of the month, or something like that. So you can see I just gave you guys a simple explanation of how this candlestick works. And then the more the candlestick moves, right, you can see the more the candlestick move in relation to the price, right, you can see with each candlestick representing a month, right, you can see. So the more the candlestick moves, the more it reflects what price is at the moment. And the more it does that, you can see closely that it is beginning to form a pattern. You can see these are patterns. And that is how we traders actually do. We read patterns. And the more we read patterns, the more we see pattern continue to repeat itself consistently. That's where this what do you call it, the opportunities lie. As a trader now, even as an investor, the same thing. Okay, so now let's continue. I've given you guys a simple, clear explanation of how we read the chart, reading using candlesticks, the price, each candlestick representing 1 week, right, and then each week reflecting price, right, and then all of this eventually starts forming a pattern. Very simple. So now let's continue now to where we are currently. I don't want to waste much time on this video, but I just want to give you guys a clear explanation of what BTC is doing at the moment from a trading perspective and from an investment perspective. Okay, so let's continue. You can see now that this pattern so far. Now let me switch into the advanced mode we are currently on right now, so that I'll just make the video very fast. So you can see that currently on BTC, we said that for investment, all we need to do is focus on what? Clear strong buy region, okay? And you can see that at this point, this was a clear strong buy. Price consolidated there for weeks, and then before you know it, it started pushing higher, right? Ran to around 105 level. Then it started pulling back, but we didn't get a retest of this strong buy. You can see here, guys, there's a problem now. You can see it very clearly now, right? So that is now telling you now that price left a gap here. It didn't come here to retest before it kept going higher. So that means this point now, this strong buy is a very strong area of interest, because you can see now that price now eventually pushed higher, came back, and now price tagged this area of strong buy. You can see now. So from an investment perspective, that's why I actually bought a lot of coins here as well. Why dollar cost averaging? I bought a few around while we were going lower though, but I bought a significant around this point. You can see the reason why I bought, right? I gave you where price didn't come here to tag. So from here now, what am I expecting? Am I expecting that price from here now will start going higher? Not necessarily, okay? Because before price will begin to go higher, most of the time, price usually have a habit of forming a base. So we get to see something like this. From this point, price will probably form a base. Price will consolidate first before, if it wants to start going higher now, will now start going higher, right? So we'll have that consolidation before the strong buy push out. Does that make sense? So I want to see price consolidate here first as well. Just like price consolidated here before it pushed out. So consolidation before it push out is what we need to always take note of. That's where the big move usually occur. Okay. So when I'm expecting price to, let's say, consolidate here, push out, then maybe come back, retest this point of consolidation, and then before price begins to go higher. Okay, something like that. Does that make sense? I'm explaining to you guys from the higher time frame level now. Okay, not from the trading perspective, just from higher time frame. What I'm hoping to see. Okay, so that's why I dollar cost average here. But one thing I want to take note of now is that I want you to take note of the fact that I actually said all of this doesn't mean that it must play out like this. This is just for a bullish scenario and why I am dollar cost averaging at this point. Okay, it doesn't mean that eventually, maybe later on in life, later on in the future, price may not just do something like this and shit this level, right? So if it does that, I already dollar cost average here, and I've given you the reason why, right? The goal is to keep dollar cost averaging on a lower price. If price continues to go lower, we just want to keep dollar cost averaging. But I'm just giving you guys reasons as to why I'm dollar cost averaging here. Okay, so if eventually this stuff started, if price starts going lower, breaks this point here, but there's a lot of weakness in price. Hold on, please. There's a lot of weakness in price. It doesn't mean that price can't continue going lower, right? All we need to do is now go lower and look for another level of strong buy that we may be looking towards, be a buyer as well. Dollar cost averaging. So I've explained to you the way dollar cost averaging works. If you have $1,000 and you want to buy Bitcoin now, right? And you can see that price from this high, price has been going lower. You can see, right? So what you want to do is you want to buy cheaper if price continues to go lower. So if price from that high starts going lower, which it eventually went to around 52% decline, right? So you know that you're buying Bitcoin cheap. You understand? So Bitcoin dropping from 126k down to 60k is significant, and you're buying it cheap. So that eventually, if price starts going higher, that position you entered here, that money you entered here, will eventually be in profit. So, like I was saying, if you have $1,000, you want to buy, let's say, $400 or $500 here. If eventually price starts going lower into another level of strong buy, you want to buy another $500 at this point. Does that make sense? It is simple logic. As long as on the higher time frame, you believe that Bitcoin is going to be here for a very long time, you believe in the assets. So if price starts going lower, it is not a loss, it's an opportunity for you to buy as price goes lower, buy cheaper. Okay, so that is how to play the long-term game with your allocated asset for Bitcoin. Just for Bitcoin alone now, I'm not talking about your other investments and all, just the amount you've allocated into Bitcoin investments. Okay, so let's continue now. I've just explained to you why I actually bought at this point here, right? At this level of strong buy. Let me take a look at this. I've explained to you the reason why I bought at this level of strong buy, right? So that's just it. The dollar cost average I entered here, I've actually entered it already, right? So if eventually price starts going lower, it's none of my business. I still get to what buy at a cheaper price. Simple as ABC, right? So what's the next thing I want to take a look at now? Now I will not have to switch towards to the lower time frame now for the day trade. This one now is a little bit more technical, right? I've taken off my investment cap. I've kept it one side. So both of them require like one of the. Let me tell you guys something. I actually started a $100 to $1,000 challenge recently, right? So I'm currently down minus 10% on that account for day trading. So what happened is that recently I just discovered that I started experiencing the fact that the day trading and the long-term trading, which is the investment, are two different completely mindsets. It requires a different way of seeing risk entirely, right? Or of relating to risk entirely. So right now I'm taking off my investment cap now. I want to put on my day trading cap, right? What we need to see in order to start looking for opportunities on the day trade, and I'll try as much as possible to keep it very very simple. So let's take all of this off now. Okay, good. So now I've already explained to you guys. Okay, let me leave. Let me still keep this one. I've explained to you guys that this point is where I want to be looking towards be an investor, right? So now let's switch into the day trade now. For the day trade now, right, you can see that price was trending higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, market structure break. This was where market structure broke, right? We actually had this pullback, and then from there we've been what trending to the downside on the weekly time frame, right? So this stuff here is still currently trending to the downside into this level of what strong buy, which is the weekly level, right? So now what I'm expecting now is that I don't expect price to just start going higher like this. I need to be convinced that price has to start going higher, right? So and the only thing that wants to make me become convinced is when price breaks this level here. Because if you look at it from this point now, right? Let me take all of this out. You can see price has been trending to the downside, forming different series of lower low, lower highs, lower low, right? Could this be another high? And then let's say price comes and maybe keeps trending lower. Let me just put it that way. Who knows, right? So the goal is to look for key inflection points, right, on the lower time frame. Now that's where I'll be looking for those lower time frame trading opportunities. So and if you can look at it very well from a lower time frame, this level here is key for me. Let me do this in red. So this level here is key for me on the lower time frame. So does price, what I'm looking for now is that does price actually come into this level, right, and keep going lower, then thereby forming another lower low, lower high. You can see very well because we had a lower low, lower high here, right? So if that's the case, then this is where the opportunity lies at the moment, okay, on the lower time frame. That's exactly what I've been waiting for weeks now, okay? So this is where we want to be looking to be a high probability trade. We're looking to take high probability trade on the lower time frame, this point here, which is around the 80k to 97k. So I'll be looking to be a seller around all of this level. Nothing concerning me and buy for now. Does that make sense? So, okay. So this is just it here. This point here around the 80k to 90k, 80k to 96k level is where I'll be looking to be a seller the coming weeks. As simple as that. So on the lower time frame, I've already told you guys the pattern we'll be looking for. We'll be looking for price trending on the lower time frame, break the market structure, pull back into the supply, and then start selling to the downside, or probably maybe to the middle point, and then eventually to the down. Okay, so there's a way it works on the lower time frame. So that's just it. Probably in the next, that's just it. That's just it for now. Okay, so we're just waiting for price and see how price develops around all of this level on the lower time frame. I don't want to go into details on what I'll be looking to play out But as price unfolds, we'll be knowing what to do. But this is just it. I've explained to you what I'm looking to be on the higher time frame, which is on the investment aspect, and what I'm looking to do on the lower time frame, which is on the trading aspect. Okay. So I hope this video actually meets you guys well. And if you really like it, don't forget to please like this video, okay? And share it with any of your friends that is interested in crypto trading. And I'll see you in the next. Bye.